if I can make a play to get it all off.
Never knew a friend till a man to fall.
It's the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony with Doris Burke on our sideline. Welcome to New York, home court advantage for the Knicks. It'll be the Knicks off the tip. Here's the starting group for the Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron and Love are the talented pair at the forward position. Kyrie Irving and J.R. Smith at the guard set. And it's Thompson in at the pivot spot manning the middle.
And one problem with the Cavs last season was they put immediate pressure on themselves. A part of that was the trade for Kevin Love.
Out of bounds. Cleveland will take possession. So it's the Cavaliers now. Here's Smith. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. As you said, the Cavs put a lot of pressure on themselves because of the trade. You could see it affect the way they came out of the gate.
And, you know, it was just night and day, Kevin, when the Cavs began to relax and click. I mean, a total transformation and turnaround. They would go 19-20 in the first 39 games, and then 34-9 over the rest of the season once those guys gelled and got locked in.
Anthony's shot is off. And stolen by Roten. Out of bounds. Cleveland will take possession.
That's a major mental mistake. I mean, there's no other way for me to describe it. He didn't know where he was on the court. That's a basic fundamental. You have to be alert to where you are.
Now here's Irving. Trying to find Thompson. He gets it to him. Launches a three. Love, no good.
You know, when he has the ball outside like that, that's exactly the kind of D they need to play on.
Anthony kicks to Lopez. Boom, he jams it straight down.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with a pass.
To the left wing. Here's Love. Another miss by Love.
Yeah, but the hand in the face, it's critical that you contest his shots every time down the floor.
The three from Anthony. Good.
How about 3 or 4 from the floor to start? That's always a good sign.
Irving attacking. Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup.
You know, huge height advantage there. But because of the great body control, he's able to cancel it out.
Agreed. The body control essential in that situation. I mean, if you're giving up a bunch of height, then you better be able to manufacture things in the air.
Here's Anthony following the basket by Kyrie Irving.
They're off and running. Good start here. They've knocked down 4 of their first 5.
The Cavaliers trailed by 5. James kicks to Smith. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. Smith's got 5 now.
The easiest way to do it sometimes is with the bounce pass.
Anthony can't get it to go. Good D by Love. Cleveland's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Lots of room. It's rebounded by New York.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
Here's Porzingis. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
Love dishes to Thompson. For 3, Smith. His second miss, now 2 of 4 on the game. Williams with the ball. Now Smith defending. to the paint. Out of bounds, Cleveland. Cleveland takes possession. Thomas checked in for New York. And the Cavaliers will go with a different look here. Mozgov, he's checked in for Thompson. Fry comes in for Kevin Love. Kamon Shumpert's checked in for J.R. Smith. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Irving. Fry, good. Fry's got his first basket.
That kind of power move has become a trademark of his.
Out of bounds, Cleveland will take possession.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Cavaliers have gone 4 for 9 from the field to start this game off. Here's Shumpert. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
How about the excitement right now that he's playing the game with? I love it.
He capped that dunk off with some serious hang time on the rim.
I tell you what, he just couldn't contain himself on that one.
43 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's Dellavedova. He's covered by Roten. Offensive rebound. James left side. Here's Shumpert. And he sinks the shot coming off the strong pick.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
Anthony, the pass to Lopez. The kick out to Williams. Roten dishes to Anthony. And stolen by Fry. 1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. Cavaliers lead by 2. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2. And we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. What stands out to you from the Cavaliers in this one?
Well, they've dictated tempo with their defense and been able to force some turnovers.
Yeah, and you know, they've also done a good job, Greg, on their end of the floor by not throwing the ball away.
They've got a Flalo. Williams is out there with Lance Thomas. Then it's Tony Roten. And it's Porzingis in at center. They're the group New York will start the second with. Three-pointer, Dellavedova.
He certainly didn't take advantage of the poor defense, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
I tell you what, I think he'd be happy if he can continue to get looks like that.
Last season ended with the Knicks pretty much packing it in, but Clark, it didn't start out that way.
You know what? Not at all. I mean, the Knicks were picked by many, Kevin, to be a playoff team last season. Clearly, things did not go as planned.
Grant, he's checked in for Tony Roten. And Cleveland also making a change. Smith is checked in.
Boy, even though he missed, you can't give up that kind of a look very often.
Better to be lucky than good sometimes. Fortunately, they didn't get burned on that one.
Mozgov kicks to Irving. Stolen by Grant. And there's the call on Kyrie Irving. That is his first foul of the game.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah, he was one step late that time, Greg.
Kevin Love's checked in for the Cavaliers. And that one is stuffed right through.
And guys, this game won't be close for long if they keep giving up dunks like that.
No, it won't, Jay. You're right. A glaring error defensively and letting him get all the way to the basket that time.
But it's only 2 points. I mean, it was flashy, no doubt, but still, it only counts for 2. 2 is all.
Lopez, he's checked in for the Knicks. Anthony comes in for Williams. And Cleveland with a change here, too. Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for Channing Frye.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten in the first half here.
And I think they should continue to work the ball down low, Clark. It's really going to free up their outside shooting. I mean, the Knicks were bad last year, and it became evident early on. As the season grew older, more and more of their national coverage games were being pulled.
And the Knicks making a change here. Porzingis is checked in. He doesn't get the second one. For the Knicks, losing a lot of nationally televised games, too. It seemed like every time they were around, they were losing. It might have been a blessing in disguise.
Well, I hope they look at it in a positive vein. It did give them a chance to focus on player development there in New York. Also allowed them to shut down Melo for the season.
Robin Lopez is checked in for Porzingis. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. Cleveland with a very strong year last year. They were a very solid team on the road, as most LeBron-led teams are.
Yeah, he's a special guy in terms of how he can elevate other players. Didn't start out hot on the road, but eventually got it together and ended up 22-19 away from home.
And still, he's scoreless. Boy, they could use just a little bit of help from him.
And here's Anthony from the arc. Got it. And he's now 3 for 5 from the field.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Cavaliers.
And back to the Cavs and their road play. Teams with a lot of new players coming in can struggle early. It's especially evident when playing on the road.
The Cavaliers trail by 11.
Talk about being streaky on the road. That's what the Cavs were. I mean, could rattle off 4 wins on the road in a row, then come back empty from their next road trip. They did seem, though, to get stronger and more steady as the season went on.
Lopez a screen. Anthony kicks to Lopez. From deep, Thomas misses that one. He's 0 for 1 from the floor. And the call will be against Robin Lopez. That's his first foul. A different look for New York. Porzingis, he's checked in for Lance Thomas. Derek Williams comes in for Aaron Aflalo. And Roten subbed in for Grant. James checked in for Cleveland.
And you can see when he has the basket in his sights, he's going to attack. And once he's in tight, he is a terrific finisher.
And it's Anthony again missing. Fires the 3. It's hauled in by Porzingis.
Tell you what, boy, it's hard to watch when the guy gets good shots and misses them. He's missed everything this quarter.
And Anthony is good for 3. Anthony's got 6 in the quarter.
And he could be the guy to put this game out of reach.
Love against Anthony. Shot clock at 6. Back to LeBron. And it's good with time running down on the shot clock. James has got his second basket.
Just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything. Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And, you know, that lead's only going to grow if they're not prepared to defend a little more staunchly than that. Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Yeah, high percentage shots are what they are getting in terms of the attempts, and that's just not going to get it done. They've got to figure it out.
Aaron Aflalo, who's checked in for the Knicks. Then for the Cavaliers, Mozgov, he's checked in for Thompson.
Oh, my goodness. He's just getting nasty on him now. Wow.
Yeah, now that they've built up a lead, this is when he really breaks out those incredibly slick moves.
Man, like a Ginsu knife, just slicing and dicing.
You might not think of him as a laser three-point shooter, but that shot was there for him, and he had to take it.
"15 seconds left in the second quarter. Lopez passes to Porzingis.
And that's going to increase the field goal percentage even more. They have a huge edge in that category.
And that's because they've been playing smart basketball. They've been very patient offensively, and their shot selection has been superb.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
Old school D right there, just telling them no easy layups. It's as simple as that. And that's what you expect from them.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here. And both free throws good for Fry.
There's not a lot you can say that hasn't been said before about his skill at the charity stripe.
And there's a whistle. That's going to go on Timothy Mozgov. That is his first foul of the game.
Next lead, 35-27.
And that does it for the first half of play. Knicks out front, up 8. And we'll be back right after halftime for the start of the third quarter. We'll see you in a bit. The second half just about to get going here. You have to like what we're seeing from Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, he's played just a smart game overall offensively, looking for and finding the gaps in the defense, and also terrific shot selection.
Greg, that's exactly what we're talking about when we talk about being efficient as an offensive player. Fully on display there with him.
And the second half about to start here in just a few moments. You have to like what we're seeing from Carmelo Anthony.
I know we've said this many times before, but what a great first half. Just an offensive juggernaut.
And, you know, in the end, I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking about what a great second half he had, guys. I mean, he can usually keep it going for all four quarters.
And so in the game for the Cavaliers, Kyrie Irving and J.R. Smith at the guard set. LeBron and Love are the talented pair at the forward position. And it's Thompson in at the 5 spot. Quinn dishes to Thomas. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Thomas got the opening bucket to start the second half for the Knicks.
You know, the Cavs last season won a bunch of games, but they had to fight for a lot of them. They often would fall behind early or dig a big hole and have to fight their way out of it.
Williams again, serving. 5 to shoot. Williams kicks to Quinn. And he gets it to go. And it's a 12-point Knicks lead.
Yeah, you're making things far too easy for him when you let him get it that deep.
I echo that. Ditto. I mean, you've got to do your work early. You try to keep him out of the post. Fight him a little bit. Keep him away from that spot he wants.
And the Cavaliers call time here. Well, nobody said, Greg, being in the NBA was for the faint of heart. The Knicks in a few short years have gone from a playoff team, unfortunately, to the worst team in the NBA.
Hard to fathom, Kevin, that the Knicks did enter last season with playoff aspirations, but that quickly vanished. They were just completely overmatched and overwhelmed.
A different look for New York. Zingas, he's checked in for Kyle O'Quinn. Anthony comes in for Derek Williams. And it's Lopez in for Tony Roten. And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway.
You know, the Knicks made the playoffs every season between 1988 and 2001. It's kind of strange now to see the Knicks struggle to get into the playoffs so often. Only 3 trips in the playoffs the last 10 seasons.
Anthony with it. He's picked up by James. The 3. Can't get it to go. And Cleveland will come the other way. Here we go. James heading to the hoop. That's good. And that's now 7 points for J.R. Smith.
Finally, they get one to drop. That's one of their first 4 here in the third. And listen, the pressure is always on the Knicks to make the playoffs just because of where the team is. Being in New York can have its advantages, but it comes with expectations that your team will be in the postseason.
Anthony drives in. The shot from the low post is good. Anthony's got 15 points.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Here's Thompson. The shot no good. Good D by Lopez. The Knicks leading by 10. Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
That was a good time to call a timeout to try to settle everybody down and get back into their offensive rhythm. They've been coughing up the rock an awful lot.
Listen, the Knicks had a hard time scoring last year. Just lacked any real presence in the paint. And lacking that paint threat makes things easier for the opposing defense.
A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. It's Anthony with the drive. And the pass to Porzingis. Lopez dishes to Carmelo. Pass to Porzingis. And it's thrown down hard with both hands.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
You know, at the Knicks, they were second to last in field goal percentage from their front court. Granted, they were hit by injuries. It seemed like all over the place all season.
Yeah, you know, with that poor field goal percentage shooting and being top 3 in field goal attempts on the year, not a good combination.
Clock at 4. Here's Anthony. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. That one on Love. The Knicks have hit all 4 of their chances so far in this one.
And they've done some really nice work at the foul line, knocking down 80%.
And that's a little better than they did last year from the free throw line.
And the Cavaliers making a change here. Mozgov, he's checked in for Tristan Thompson. Fry comes in for Kevin Love. Shumpert, he's checked in for James. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Irving. Smith for 3. Can't hit. And New York will come the other way.
They've shown effort and aggression in the paint right from the tip. Their rebounding edge is impressive.
And they're giving themselves extra possessions and have taken advantage of it. And that's critical. You can shoot a few lesser percentage if you're getting more opportunities at the rim. And from an offensive standpoint, they have just been stellar.
Yeah, really good. I mean, extremely well coached, fluid, efficient. Man, it's been a lot of fun to watch. The points just keep piling up because they've been such a well-oiled machine.
The Cavaliers trail by 16. They set the screen. And it's Dellavedova missing. And the Knicks with possession. They're on a 12-4 run. Anthony, the pass to Lopez. Back to Anthony. To the middle. Shumpert with it. Now Anthony defending. And Shumpert kicks to Mozgov. Smith drives in. Got a piece of it.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole because he is just not there offensively.
The Knicks shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight.
From New York, Carmelo Anthony. Taking 2 shots.
No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2. Three-pointer, Dellavedova. It's rebounded by New York. New York calls timeout.
Knicks fans, these are your Knicks City dancers. Go on and give it up.
And stolen by Fry. With 2 seconds left. And some nice defense there to end the quarter. And that's out of bounds. Cleveland will retain possession. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. It's the Knicks ending the 3rd quarter with a 13-4 run. And 4th quarter basketball will be coming your way on 2K Sports right after this. Welcome back. 4th quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. Anthony is out there with Porzingis. Then there's Robin Lopez. Then there's Lance Thomas, and it's Afflalo in at the point guard. So that's who's on the floor for the Knicks. Lopez, a screen on Love. Anthony dishes to Thomas. Back to Anthony. From deep three-point range, Thomas passes to Anthony. Pass to Porzingis. Fires the 3. That one goes. Count it. And the Knicks lead by 18.
And they're going to have a hard time climbing back into this game if they continue to defend like that.
Just over a minute played here in the 4th. A slam dunk by Thomas.
Big time finish. Emphatic.
He hangs on the rim, too, just for good measure.
Yeah, but guys, nothing wrong with a little bit of showboating every now and then. Well, he had 1 3-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
And we've made our way through just over a minute and a half in this 4th quarter. 6 on the shot clock. It's Anthony with the drive. No one near him. That doesn't go either for Thomas.
Most of the time, that shot will go down. Boy, the defenders have to make sure they tag him.
Afflalo outside. To the inside. Here's Porzingis. And he bangs it home with one hand.
And able to pad his stats a little bit there on that play, the board and the bucket.
And you know, Greg, that'll put him in the good graces of that coaching staff, too. My goodness.
Kevin and Greg, hard work on the offensive glass always does that. I mean, his fans will remember the dunk, but the coaches love the rebound.
Cavaliers have gone 1 of 4 since the end of the 3rd quarter. Love kicks to Irving. That falls. Great assist by Love. 9 points for Kyrie Irving.
A little bit of a defensive breakdown there. He's not the guy you want to leave open on the perimeter. You've got to stay attached to him.
I tell you what, I don't know what he did in the locker room, but he needs to do a little bit more of it because he's on fire.
Anthony with it. He's picked up by LeBron.
Yeah, you hate to give up a foul on a three-point attempt.
Yeah, unnecessary. I mean, make them earn those points from deep. Don't give them to them free at the line. Of course, he didn't have an attempt there in the first half. He's hoping to be a little bit more active and aggressive here and draw some fouls here in the second.
Well, you go back last season, the Cavs had a very slow start to the year. Not surprising. They had a lot of new faces and people they were bringing together. Clark, it didn't look like the powerhouse they would end up being, as we saw.
Well, you know, they were kind of fumbling and bumbling around in the 5th and 6th spots in the East for the first half of the season. Made some changes, though, through trade, and that got them going, I think.
And he gets the bucket. 24 points for Carmelo Anthony. Cavaliers have gone just 33% for the field in the fourth quarter so far. They are 2 of 6. Love takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely.
That's really told the story today, guys. I mean, throughout this game, they've been able to get the ball in tight and then finish.
More active and more physical down low. That's what's really been the difference thus far.
A good finish at the rack off the slick feed.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Knicks.
Agreed, Steve, and as one-sided as it gets today. You know, Clark, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
You're right, Kevin. It's hard to think of anything that didn't go right for them. I mean, game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was spot on.
They get it back. Second chance shot. And, yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim.
Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Well, Greg, I know you're a little guy, but you know what it means to box out, and it's an effort thing and a mindset deal. You got to get your body between that other player and the ball.
And the basket by Jones.
I love how he establishes his post position inside before he converts.
And here's Anthony for 3. And it's Anthony again missing. On the wing, Shumpert launches it. Offensive rebound. Kicks it out to Jones. From outside, off the mark. Oh, and the jam by Anthony.
And that's just a little more for these fans to cheer about as they get ready to celebrate a W.
Well, let the party start. The celebration begins, and they're going to let their guys hear it. Good job threading that pass into the lane. I like his vision, guys. He sees everything.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock.
I don't want to say they're trying to run up the score here, but they do keep adding to the lead.
Well, I know you don't want to say it, but I will, partner. I mean, they're trying to run the score up here. It's plain and simple. They're trying to throw salt all in that wound.
For 3, Fry. Count the bucket.
And they're clearly finishing strong here, but not enough time to pull it out.
Yeah, it does look like they're going to end on a high note. Too bad this run didn't develop sooner for them.
And how about that, responding to the three-pointer against them with a quick one of their own.
Terrific little tay-to-tay going on right now. Back and forth, here we go.
So no problem for New York as they get the win. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
Yeah, they were clicking in every way. I mean, all cylinders go. No question about that. And once they pulled away, they didn't let up.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long, everyone.
São Paris, São Paulo, França, Brasil. Aí, MX, Laboratório Fantasma. É nóis. Assim,
os manos no posto, trampando a contragosto, feliz ou oposto. Aposto que sei da dureza, que é a tristeza deformando o seu rosto. Se calos falassem, talvez o mundo escutasse, olhar do impasse, olhasse, limpasse, brilhavam vocês. Bonjour, pras minas no fronte, que dor pra contar tem de monte. É tipo uma fonte dela, de fronte ela sonha com um novo horizonte. Trancada na cela ou numa favela, medo é foda, João. Pobre menina, sofre de verdade por toda a cidade, ainda mais porque a palavra liberdade é feminina. Cidade luz, guetos, becos e pretos tristes como um blues. Mano, muçulmano, amor, islã. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam. Mil flor, mil cor, mil idioma, mil cor, tipo índio. Tio por, servos de Roma, frios por natureza morta. Legalité por mon.
Hello and thanks for joining us, 2K Sports fans, for another exciting presentation of NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And joining us in a bit later from the sidelines, Doris Burke. The crowd here in anticipation of their home team Cavaliers in an interconference battle here at the Quicken Loans Arena.
You know, the Cavs last season won a bunch of games, but they had to fight for a lot of them. They often would fall behind early or dig a big hole and have to fight their way out of it.
So here's Oklahoma City's starting group. Russell Westbrook out there with Ibaka. Then it's Enes Kanter. And then there's Steven Adams. And it's Durant in at the 4 spot. You mentioned, GA, the Cavs and their comebacks. They actually overcame double-digit deficits for 13 of their 53 wins last year.
Yeah, and Kevin, I remember their biggest one being a comeback after being down 17 points. I mean, but when you have the star power that the Cavs have, no comeback is out of the question. You're just never safe against this team.
And they call over the back here. Too much contact.
Yeah, a bit over eager right there. Left his feet too early.
Yeah, and if you're already boxed out like he was, just back up, because if you don't, you're going to get called for the over-the-back foul every time.
And it's Smith penetrating. Irving from long range. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. Irving's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. And Adams with the slam.
And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
Irving double team. And it's the Thunder with the ball. And the Thunder with the possession here. Here's Kanter. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
Assist from.
Great job to hit his teammate on that move, Kevin.
Thunder on D. Irving with it. In the corner, it's James. His 3-pointers off the mark.
You can't miss those, but even the best do on occasion.
Westbrook kicks to Durant. Adams dishes to Westbrook. Left side, Ibaka. 5 to shoot. Back to Durant. And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
The one-hand slam is so sweet when it's his hand doing the slam.
Oh, yeah, he is so smooth, even on a power finish like that.
And really, that's what makes him unique, that combination of power and polish.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Thunder will retain possession.
You can tell that pass just hung in the air for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Long enough for him to get a hand on it and knock it out of play.
Now here's Durant. Down low. The kick out to Westbrook. Kept alive. Pass to Durant. Back to Canner. The second chance effort. Comes up empty down low. We know Oklahoma City has the stars, the big names, the offensive flair. But, you know, Greg, this team, and you appreciate this, is a very tough defensive group.
Yeah, I think they've matured in that area. In the past, that wasn't always true. But last year, the Thunder really hung their hat on their defense. Top 10 in opponents' field goal percentage.
Looking at who's out there now for the Cavaliers. Mozgov, he's checked in for Thompson. Fry comes in for Kevin Love. Shumpert is checked in for J.R. Smith. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Irving. And the Cavaliers with possession here. The Thunder making the shot. LeBron's shot is good.
You know, when you look at the Thunder in their defense, it starts with the length they have on the perimeter. It also helps to have rim protectors backing them up on any drive.
And stolen by Fry. He lobs it up. Shumpert, no good.
You know, just a little too fancy on that play.
Well, you don't want to force any play, but particularly the alley-oop. You'd like to try that when it's wide open.
And here we go. Shumpert running it up the court. .103 left in the first quarter. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. Durant's got his second bucket of the game to go.
And a final note on the Thunder defense. A lot of it is a mentality. They have guys that aren't scared to challenge shots. And they're a solid group that knows how to play tough team defense.
Looking for Adams. He gets it there. Durant against Shumpert. Durant kicks to Cantor. And he dunks it after the pick frees him up.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
Now, here is Ford. Defense right on him. Outside for Durant. And there's a whistle. That's going to go on Timothy Mozgov.
That's his first personal foul.
Just 4 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Durant.
Kevin Durant.
Again, Oklahoma City.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
And that concludes the first quarter of play. It's the Thunder as they end the first quarter on a 14-5 run. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from Quicken Loans Arena. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Thunder.
Well, I like the fact they've already been getting a lot of high-quality shots in the paint.
And the other thing, though, is their execution in terms of their ball movement has been flawless. Sets up a lot of easy scoring opportunities.
So the Thunder 5 right now. They've got Adams. Bucket is out there with Russell Westbrook. Then there's Boyd, and it's Waiters in the 2.
This is why I love his game. You really have to admire his tenacity.
Screened by Ibaka. Inside. Up off the screen. And a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
Yeah, and when he's got a lead like that, why not take a few chances? A lot more engaging and entertaining than just doing the old ho-hum one-hander.
Well, you go back last season, the Cavs had a very slow start to the year. Not surprising. They had a lot of new faces and people they were bringing together. Clark, it didn't look like the powerhouse they would end up being as we saw.
Well, you know, they were kind of fumbling and bumbling around in the 5th and 6th spots in the East for the first half of the season. Made some changes, though, through trade, and that got them going, I think.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Cavaliers.
And those midseason trades for the Cavs really turned things around. Mozgov came in, J.R. Smith and Shumpert secured that 2 spot, gave this team an incredible edge defensively.
Here in the second quarter with a little over a minute gone.
Yeah, and you know, they built the roster to how they played best midseason. I mean, it was a great job, I think, by the front office to get the players that fit best into the locker room and into the team style of play. Still trailing, but their offense is off life support here in the second quarter. It's got a pulse.
Good point, Clark. They're starting to make some shots, looking to try and get back in this one. And what a beautiful way to polish off that sequence. Just strong at attacking the rim.
That just puts a little more momentum on their side, don't you think?
Absolutely.
The defense got to tighten up now. I mean, you can't have the opposing point guard throwing down on you like that.
And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Ibaka. It's stolen by Adams. And we're about 2 minutes into the second quarter here. Westbrook drives in. And the rejection by Love. Oh, and here we go. Irving's got it. The fast break chance. Westbrook again. Smith to the inside. And Tion Waiters the bucket on the assist by Westbrook.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Textbook. Really, when you look at how they're playing, they are having their way down low. And that was a difficult shot from mid-range simply because the defense was in.
Quando eu me vi só nesse lugar, eu pensei que preciso sair pra me libertar. Seja com quem for, a minha vida é cantar, nunca no mesmo lugar. Seja sozinho a 2, o resto eu vejo depois. Mas só em pensar que com a sua face, tudo que eu pedisse, só você que me desse. Aí pensando desse esse 4 falasse. Mas que pena, já era, já era, já era. Não deixo mais aquela tão bela e singela. E nem dá. Porque seu rosto a vagela é através de alô. Se passou pela favela é porque alguém me falou. Então já que me deixou por aqui, aprendi a viver pouco sozinho. Mas o que eu posso fazer, fia, se eu gosto da boemia. Essa noite pra mim é dia, mas posso mudar. Mas como isso é questão de tempo, então isso nem tenho muito, nem curto. Fica de canto, eu prefiro suar. Quando eu me vi só nesse lugar, eu pensei que preciso sair Seja com quem for, a minha vida é cantar. Nunca no mesmo lugar, seja sozinho a dois. O resto eu vejo depois. O resto eu vejo depois, talvez. Pode ser que uma mina firmeza possa trombar no rolê. É isso, deixa comigo, é só seguir o sentido e despertar os picos floridos. Mas não, pera lá, deixa eu falar, né assim. Para mim tem que ter valor. É só chegar e abusar, nem forjar, nem fingir que nem dá pra sentir o amor. Ó fita, ela não confia mais em mim, acredita. No conto das minas que pra mim foi mó zica. Tá pra tudo claro, mas a cena complica e a saudade fica. Então já era, já era.
It's an all. Western Conference matchup in today's game is the Kings coming to town for this one. Like to welcome you to the NBA on 2K Sports. With Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. Pass to Curry. He kicks it to Bogut. Trying to find Thompson. He gets it to him. Outside Curry. There's the three. And it's Gay with the rebound.
And former coach of the year, George Karl, making his way back into the league last season. Kings picked him up halfway through the year to kind of stabilize their coaching situation. Oh, wow.
That's a beautiful jam.
With that reverse jam, the fans got a little extra show there.
That one definitely had something, you're right. Extra on it.
Man, I got to pick my jaw up off the floor after that one, guys.
Rondo passes to get. Oh! It's not possible what we just said. Clark, is that possible?
Not probable, but it is possible, partner. It is possible.
And think about it, guys. That's
smokes.
one of the few guys in the entire league who can pull off something like that. And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
Rondo against Curry. Out left to the wing. 6 on the shot clock. Cousins. And it's sent back by Bogut. Curry with it. Picked up by Collison. And the Warriors miss again.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Cauley-Stein kicks to Cousins. Boom, he jams it straight down.
Well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
What a year for the Warriors. Clark won their division for the first time in 39 years, ran away with the very tough Western Conference.
And there were a number of surprises last season, Kevin, but the Warriors were at the top of the list. I mean, I don't think anybody, including you and I, pegged them to be as good as they were.
Especially the way the finals began.
Exactly.
And the Warriors won 51 games back in 2014, improved that mark by 16 wins last season. Among teams that won at least 50 games in the previous year, that 16-game improvement was an NBA record for the Warriors.
Cousins with a screen for Rondo. No good from Cousins.
You know, the alley-oop is a great play when it works, but boy, when it doesn't.
Yeah, it can make you look silly. It embarrasses you. And we had a little silliness right there for sure. It goes without saying the Warriors set franchise records all over the place with their play. Their win total being the highest ever, but also of note, it was the first time they've won 50 games in back-to-back seasons. They seem to truly have arrived as a top-notch franchise in this current state of the NBA.
Here's Curry. Cans the shot from the wing.
You know, not necessarily what you're looking for, but still able to convert.
Rondo against Thompson. Here's Gay. A great 1-2 punch. Beautiful pass and nasty jam.
Punches it down with pop.
Rubs it in. It looks like a little deeper with the hanging finish.
I tell you what, they're not backing off at all, are they?
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
Couldn't have dreamed of a much better start here than they've had today.
I think the offensive game plan they came in with was right on point. It's worked perfectly, and the lead they already have is proof in the pudding.
And the Warriors with a completely new 5 on the floor. There's the dish to Collison. Offside Rondo. To the middle. And there's DeMarcus Cousins on the assist by Rondo. Rondo's got 4 assists in the game.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Yeah, they have really owned the interior. You've got to collapse that defense and force them to beat you over the top.
Gay dishes to Cousins. Some nice ball movement here by the Kings. Rondo drives in. Puts up the baby hook. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. The Kings have shot just 1 free throw, missing that one earlier. Sacramento making some changes. Caspi, he's checked in for Gay. Butler comes in for Cauley Stein. And it's Bellinelli in for Rajon Rondo. Warriors trailed by 13.
That's his first personal foul.
Livingston passes to Barbosa. The feed to Barnes. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam.
Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Clark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And how about how he capped that one out, almost like the 1-2 punch.
Butler kicks to Caspi. Offline with his... three. So... And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for Sacramento.
Well, I like the fact they've already been getting a lot of high-quality shots in the paint.
And the other thing, though, is their execution in terms of their ball movement has been flawless. Sets up a lot of easy scoring opportunities.
Barnes and Green of the forward set. Ian Clark out there with Livingston. And it's Spates in the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the group for the Golden State Warriors to start the second quarter. No good from Caspi.
Boy, from my angle, it looked like it was in the bottom of the net. Looked good from here.
Yeah, I'm about as shocked as you are, Clark.
Barnes can't get it to go.
Usually, if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
And the officials will call the illegal screen right there.
Oh, an illegal screen there. One of the toughest calls for an official to make.
And it is one of the toughest calls, but most of the time they do a good job with it. And you have to appreciate how officials get that one right more times than not.
Catching up on the changes for Golden State. Andrew Bogut checked in for Spates. Iguodala comes in for Harrison Barnes. Klay Thompson, he's checked in for Ian Clark. And Steph Curry subbed in for Sean Livingston.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here.
Way too many shots in close, and he's got to get his guys to cut that down in terms of points in the paint.
Clearly the reason for the timeout, Greg. I mean, he wants his guys to toughen up inside and start protecting the rim.
Here's Curry.
Well, the term dream season can be applied to Steve Kerr's first year. Comes in and sets a franchise record in wins and also wins a title for the Warriors in his first year. Still unreal.
Shot clock at 6. Golden State needs to get off a shot. Thompson from long range. Great D that time from Collison. Kicks it to Gay. Good. And it's Rondo who picks up the assist. And it's 8 points for Rudy Gay. And for Kerr, so much was made of how much pressure he had to face to get the Warriors to improve. Inheriting that team from Mark Jackson. Greg, that was a good point. See, he passed that test, though, Clark, I think, with flying colors.
Well, first time that a rookie head coach has won a title since the NBA's inception. I think that says it all right there.
Another one. DJ Khaled.
Hello, everyone. Get ready for NBA action live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony with Doris Burke reporting on the sidelines. Sacramento Kings here at home in an interconference matchup. Should be a good one. Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting 5 on the floor. Taking a look at the Bulls. Gibson is the 4 with Gasol at the 5. Rose is the 1 with Butler as the 2. And it's Dunleavy in the small forward position. Dishes it to Cousins. Good. And it's Rondo who picks up the assist.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Gibson passes to Butler. Great D that time from Rondo.
I tell you what, he has quite the act to follow, but Fred Hoiberg was a quick choice for the Brass in Chicago. Signed that 5-year deal over the summer. Was easily one of the most in-demand coaches available.
Well, Greg, for Hoiberg, it's his first job as an NBA head coach. Now, we know he played. He's been a part of an NBA front office. Clark, he came from Iowa State, where he honed his coaching skills and was highly respected.
Yeah, very much respected, particularly as an offensive coach. And we know the Bulls are pretty solid defensively, and he'll be looking to ramp up that offensive approach for that team, and I think he will. That's how to orchestrate for your teammate. Terrific pass.
McLemore dishes to Cousins. Rondo against Rose. Rondo kicks to Cousins. 5 to shoot. Shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for 2.
I tell you what, guys, it's going to be a tough day on this defense if he's got the A game rolling tonight.
Butler.
Jimmy Butler.
He sinks the 11-footer.
Just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play.
Rondo passes to Cousins. Rose against Rondo. Back to Cousins. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Exactly. The defense determined not to allow the easy layup right there. They'll settle for making him earn the free throws.
And the Kings last year could be exciting at times on offense. One way they would consistently put up points was by finding their way to the free throw line.
I'm not sure how I like this one. He used the rim to get some true hang time there.
No, he just wanted to make sure the landing was softer than the takeoff.
Okay, guys, that was just
I'll buy that for now.
a good old-fashioned chin check right there.
And the shot is good.
You know, you're going to have success when you can start out shooting 80% from the game. So early offensively, they've been great. That's the way you like to start. Shots are just flowing for him right now, having a really strong quarter.
And he goes in for the dunk.
I tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here if he shattered the backboard.
Rondo with it. Butler covering. Cousins against Gibson. Here's Gay. Good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from inside the paint area.
There's got to be a wall of defense when it comes to attacking the paint. Plain and simple.
And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Kings?
Well, I like the fact they've already been getting a lot of high-quality shots in the paint.
And the other thing, though, is their execution in terms of their ball movement has been flawless. Sets up a lot of easy scoring opportunities.
Sacramento making a switch here. Caspi's checked in. And he can extend the lead to double digits.
You know, even though he missed that 3-point shot, I think the defense has to do a better job of challenging the shot.
Yeah, as a coach, you can really ill afford to have those types of opportunities presented against your defense.
Rondo kicks to Caspi. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot. Bulls trail by 7. Brooks with it. He's picked up by Rondo. McDermott can't get it to go. Kings have gone 6 of 9, shooting it well. Brooks against Rondo. Pass to Caspi. Launches a 3. And he gets it to go. Caspi's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. The drive by Brooks. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. McDermott kicks to Butler. From deep, Brooks. The shot's good on the assist by Butler.
For 3.
Back at you. I mean, they immediately get those 3 points back.
Trading spray guns from long range. Trading blows from behind the arc.
The drive by Rondo. Makes it off the glass. Rondo's got his second bucket of the game to go.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the fin?
The scoring fast and furious as we end the first quarter. Kings ahead, up by 9. Live from Sacramento, you're watching 2K Sports. And we welcome you back to more NBA action. Players looking hydrated and plenty of Gatorade to help them get their job done tonight. And when you consider how the Kings are doing, guys, what are your thoughts?
just like it when your team doesn't settle for outside shots, and that's been the case here early on.
Yeah, I agree with you. They've done a nice job, Greg, working it low and not taking the easy way out on offense, keeping that pressure on the defense by going inside.
We've got Rudy Gay. Ben McLemore is out there with Rajon Rondo. Then there's Caspi, and it's Cauley Stein in at the 3 slot. So that's the 5 in the game for Sacramento. Rondo kicks to Caspi. Puts up a 3. Bulls trail by 9. Oh! My! How did he hit that shot?
I don't believe what I just saw right there.
Noah with the block. And Billy Cauley-Stein gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Bellinelli, he's checked in for Sacramento. Collison comes in for Rajon Rondo. Brooks misses.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
And they call over the back here. Too much contact.
Boy, did he go hard to the boards, but clearly went over the back in doing it.
Yeah, kudos for the effort. I always love that kind of effort, but he was just a little overzealous.
DeMarcus Cousins, he's checked in for the Kings.
And he'll take it right into the teeth of the D without thinking twice about it.
Stolen by Noah. Fast break. Here comes Chicago. Moore outside. Noah drives in. Nice D from Cousins. And McLemore kicks to Cousins. Bellinelli dishes to Cousins. To the middle. McLemore. Good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist. 6 points for Ben McLemore.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
And Clark, it's a strategy that has served them well during the course of this first half. And former coach of the year, George Karl, making his way back into the league last season. Teams picked him up halfway through the year to kind of stabilize their coaching situation.
And what a pickup to get a guy like Karl, Greg, on their bench, as you mentioned. He's just been a winner, Clark, his entire career.
Well, he's climbing the ladder in the all-time wins category as a coach, and also he's a cancer survivor. He's overcome a battle with cancer, and that also lends itself to having great compassion and respect for George Karl.
As did his son, Kobe.
That's
Remember
right.
that? Yeah.
That's right. Family affair. Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with a dunk like that.
And Bellinelli kicks to Cauley-Stein. Cousins against Gasol. The drive by Cousins.
Now that was pretty. That was just a nice-looking reverse jam right there.
Use the rim, Clark, to protect the ball, I think, too, a little bit.
Yeah, did a nice job with it.
And guys, how about the awareness there with that finish in traffic?
The shot by Cauley-Stein, no good.
You know, the alley-oop is a great play when it works, but boy, when it doesn't.
Yeah, it can make you look silly. It embarrasses you. And we had a little silliness right there for sure.
A drive by Collison. And it's Cousins. That time on the assist by Collison. 14 points for DeMarcus Cousins.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago.
Way too many shots in close, and he's got to get his guys to cut that down in terms of points in the paint.
Clearly the reason for the timeout, Greg. I mean, he wants his guys to toughen up inside and start protecting the rim.
Some changes for Sacramento. Kufis checked in for Cousins. Gay comes in for Cauley-Stein. And Curry subbed in for McLemore. Chicago also making some changes. Doug McDermott comes in for Portis. And it's Butler in for Justin Holiday. Here's Rose. Wide open. Not this time. His first miss in 3 attempts from the field. Well, last season, Greg, another year without playoff basketball in Sacramento. A shame to see some of the best fans in the NBA not be a part of the postseason.
And it's a great point, Kevin. Now, 9 straight years where the Kings have failed to make the postseason. 29-win seasons aren't going to get you very far when you're battling in the West.
And that is good. Rose has got 4 points now in the quarter. Passes it to Curry. Kicks to Bellinelli. Back to Curry. Good ball movement here by the Kings. And he's going up for the alley-oop. It's stolen by Dunleavy. 6-second difference between shot and game clock. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Gay. And the Bulls making a change here. Gibson's checked in. Got a piece of it. Here's Curry. Drops in the layup for 2. And the Kings lead by 8.
No issues on that one. Good work all around.
Butler from outside. No good. Great tee that time from Curry. Back to Collison. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. And it's a 10-point Kings lead with 1 on the clock. And slam dunk by Butler.
Wow, what a pass there. He made that a very easy basket with that setup.
And we... And the third quarter about ready to get underway. You look at DeMarcus Cousins in this game. He has been everywhere.
Just a dominating performance in the post by him so far. Just tearing them to shreds when he gets it inside.
Yeah, and getting it to him is the only hard part, fellas. I mean, once he has it, he's automatic. Forget about it. He can do work down there.
The second half just about to get going here. You look at DeMarcus Cousins in this game. He has been everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much all throughout that first half. And he was taking care of his business on the low blocks and getting more than his fair share of dunks.
Guys, he's been in beast mode down low, asserting his will. The defense has been helpless, unable to slow him down.
Tipping off the second half, here's Fred Hoiberg's 5. Rose is the 1 with Butler is the 2. Gibson is the 4 with Gasol at the 5. And it's Dunleavy in at the 3, the small forward. The drive by game. Six to shoot. The basket to call his foul. Here's Curry with the 3.
Well, they're fortunate. The defense was taking a big chance, leaving him that wide open behind the arc.
For a franchise that had so much success under his tenure, there was sure a lot of friction with Tom Thibodeau, and the Bulls front office surprised a lot of people, I know, including yourself.
Yeah, you know, it's not something that you see often. A winning coach at odds with his GM and president. With how often their differences came up, though, you knew something was afoot.
Outside Rose from 10 feet out. Not enough on that one as it misses.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
Rondo kicks to Cousins. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
And the lead just grows on that ridiculous offensive sequence.
You know, Clark, that dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Yeah, that just added more to it.
And you know, guys, right now they're starting to flatline, just hanging on here for dear life.
Chicago calls timeout.
And with Thibs, he did end up getting fired from the Bulls this past season. Some saw it coming, but still, I think surprising given the level of success he had. His imprint is all over this Bulls team in the way they approach the game.
Chicago making some changes. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Gasol. And Mirotic subbed in for Taj Gibson. Bulls trailed by 10.
And when you look at how Thibs got fired, I mean, there are a lot of reasons why a coach can be let go. I mean, he didn't have any performance issues, but apparently clashed in some form or fashion with the front office. Sometimes that's all it takes to be asked to go somewhere else.
And Rudy Gay picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
No question about it. No flop there. That was a direct shot to the chest.
Fades back. Mirotic's shot is off.
Boy, even though he missed, you can't give up that kind of a look very often.
Better to be lucky than good sometimes. Fortunately, they didn't get burned on that one.
Tacks a few more points onto their lead with the tomahawk.
That's bringing it down hard. Clark,
Yes,
bringing it down
sir.
hard,
Yes,
my brother.
Symbolic there as well of the effort here tonight. A really good rebound in traffic. That's what the big fella's there for.
Here's Curry. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. That one on Rose. Kings were off to a hot start last year, but things certainly fell apart midway. A big factor in that was the messy firing of their coach, Mike Malone.
Yeah, really, that firing came out of nowhere to the fans and the players, and it seemed odd to fire a coach that has been leading his team to good basketball.
Kufis checked in for DeMarcus Cousins.
Even when they're down, he's still looking to do the spectacular. And he pulled it off.
Well, maybe this is the best time to do it.
I agree. I mean, now's when you need a spark, something electric to get your teammates fired up.
Nice silky finish on the alley-oop.
That sequence, I don't think Clark could have been executed any better.
Stupendous speed.
And that's the beauty of the game right there. I hope we get the opportunity to see a few more of those. Yeah, heads-up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Doug McDermott, he's checked in for Dunleavy. Justin Holiday comes in for Butler. And Brooks subbed in for Derrick Rose. Curry kicks to Cauley Stein. Rondo passes to Gay. Outside for Curry. Again, Curry missing.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter. You know, with that kind of height disadvantage, all the defender can do is look up, watch him punch it home, and hope he doesn't get landed on.
And Cauley Stein throws it down.
Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And, you know, that lead's only going to grow if they're not prepared to defend a little more staunchly than that.
Portis, he's checked in for the Bulls. Etuan Moore comes in for Mirotic. And it's Rondo penetrating. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. It's going to be on Doug McDermott. The Kings have missed 2 free throws in the game, going 5 for 7. The free throw drops for Rondo.
You know, guys, one of the things that is always going to keep you competitive against the West is a good defense. It's one reason why the Bulls tend to be a tougher matchup for teams from the West, because they do D up.
Here's what Sacramento's going with right now. Caspi, he's checked in for Gay. Butler comes in for Cauley Stein. And it's Bellinelli in for Curry.
And unfortunately, we've seen a few too many of those. A lack of concentration and alertness, a turnover, and an easy bucket the other way in transition.
And really a few more of those, and this game could be over.
Bulls had a good year against the West last season. 17 up, 13 down against the Western Conference.
Yeah, and how about playing 500 or better against every division in the Western Conference? So impressive to think they did so well given how many games some of their... starting players missed.
So the Kings call timeout. They're first. Bulls always seem to be tough on the road, and last season no different. They would end with 23 road wins on the year.
And that number was good enough for the second most in the East. Unlike shooting, it's very hard for defenses to go cold, and that's why the Bulls have been so good on the road.
Darren Collison, he's checked in for Bellinelli. And the Bulls making a change here as well. Gibson's checked in. And he makes the first.
And guys, touching back on the Bulls on the road to illustrate how good they are on the road. Last season marked the 5th straight year of a road record above 500. Incredible consistency as a franchise.
Timeout called by the Kings.
And, you know, obviously, you know, there's some things out there he does not like and wants to talk it over.
Well, Greg, you play and you envision yourself as a coach as well. So, you know, sometimes you need to make some adjustments.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento.
All right, Sacramento, please welcome to the court America's best dance crew, your Sacramento Kings dance team.
Big group substitution here for Sacramento. DeMarcus Cousins, he's checked in for Koufos. Gay comes in for Caspi. Cauley Stein, he's checked in for Butler. And it's Ben McLemore in for Darren Collison. 27 seconds left in the third. Now here's Cauley Stein. Defense right on him. And Cousins throws it down.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
Down low, here's Brooks. Good work defensively by Gay. Here's McLemore. Well, through 3/4 of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. The Kings on top. They lead by 11. Live from Sacramento, you're watching 2K Sports. Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. They've got Cauley Stein. Rudy Gay is out there with DeMarcus Cousins. Then there's Collison, and it's Rondo in at the 1 spot. So that's the 5 in the game for Sacramento. And there's the feed to Cousins. Baseline Jay on the way. Wants to get it to Rondo and does. Just 4 to shoot. Collison. Nice fake, but the layup off the mark.
Now that's terrific defense at the rim. Got right in his path.
And you know they'll be conscious of him next time they take it inside, too. I mean, that's what really good defenders do. They make you think about their presence.
Rose, no good. Kings leading now by 11. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. And Cauley Stein has it in the corner. And here's Gay outside. They get it again. And Cousins kicks to Cauley Stein. And here's Rondo. He dishes it to Cousins. Chicago grabs the miss. And Butler, here we go. That's good. Butler's got it back down to within single digits for the Bulls.
Boy, I tell you what, he's having one of those days where if he takes it, he makes it.
Cousins against Gasol. Rondo dishes to Cousins. And he jams it with authority.
They've hardly needed anyone else today to get out to this lead. I mean, he's provided almost all of their offense.
You look at DeMarcus Cousins, what a contribution.
So he's getting to the rack all game, and if they can't do a better job of keeping him out of the paint, they're in for a long night.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, I was able to listen in on what the head coach of the Chicago Bulls was going over in his huddle. He was emphatic. We're not getting it done, fellas. We've simply got to step up, get engaged, and try to battle back. Guys, we'll see if the pep talk gets them going.
Sacramento leading by 8. Rose against Rondo. Feeds to Gay. Back to Rondo. And Gasol sends it back. And here we go, the Bulls fast break. It's hauled in by Gay. Gay's got his 6th rebound on the night. And the foul on Derrick Rose. That's foul number 2 for him.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Greg, no problem for me with that call. I mean, he was still sliding right there.
Rondo passes to Gay. Cauley-Stein with the screen for Gay. And he comes off the screen and slams it through.
And it was the screen there, guys, that freed him up as he ran his man into it.
And then it was all acceleration, GA, to the bucket right after that.
Almost a backboard breaker.
The second half hasn't gone nearly as well for him. He'd only had 1 before the break in terms of turnovers, but that number's growing as this game progresses.
Kings leading now by 10. And there's the foul. Goes on Taj Gibson. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. .139 left to play here in the 4th. Gay drives in. Howard down with both hands.
And he is the ultimate when it comes to being a floor leader on the offensive end.
Yeah, you know, he's got a little bit of Greg Anthony in him. He has been that leader today. I think he's done a really nice job of moving the ball and distributing it the way it needs to be done.
Well, Clark, I'm glad you referenced specifically why you thought he had a little Greg Anthony. I thought you were talking about the knees. he looked a little hobbled out there for a moment.
What a beautiful pass to set that one up.
The pass might have been pretty, but the finish, I thought, Clark, angry.
That's a heck of a combination. Pretty pass and an angry punch.
And that's what makes the alley-oop such a terrific play when you're able to execute it. And now as the clock ticks down, this is going to end up as a solid victory here for the Kings.
Clark, this was a physical game.
Yeah, but the awareness they had offensively to penetrate really was the difference.
A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for Cousins. Every time he shot it, it seemed like it was going to drop in. And if it didn't, everyone was surprised.
Here's Rose. That missed basket now makes him 4 of 8 from the field. Gay kicks to Cousins. The drive by Gay. And Butler sends it back. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Good.
No doubt about it. He has done a ton to help his team, but he's going to have to do even more if they want to have a chance to get back in this.
They set the pick. Gay dishes to Cauley-Stein. From past the arc. No good from Cousins. And stolen by Gay. So it's the Kings winning this one. The home of the Rockets in wonderful Houston, Texas. It's the NBA, and it's live right here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, and here with me tonight, Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke reporting from the sideline. Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. On the court for Sacramento, Cauley-Stein is up there with Rudy Gay. That's Rajon Rondo. Then there's DeMarcus Cousins. And it's Collison at the point guard position. Well, looking back on last season, you didn't know where the Rockets would end up in terms of seeding in the playoffs. Ended up with the 2 seed because they won the Southwest Division. And as it turned out, everything worked out very well for them.
It really did, and had a divisional matchup in that first round against the Mavs. But the Rockets took care of business in that series and would advance.
Here's Ariza. The rim-rattling two-handed jam.
Fellas, that two-hand monster slam was vicious.
I don't think there was anyone, and I mean anyone, that could have stopped him on that one.
I tell you what, I'm glad they didn't try, because somebody might have got their feelings hurt.
And Cauley-Stein throws it down.
Now, that was an incredible reverse throwdown right there. Tremendous body control.
I'd even go as far to say, Clark, that was a punctuation dunk. Huh?
I can feel that.
Sending a message.
How about, guys, that's one of those dunks that you probably want in your career highlight reel.
A drive by Collison. It's blocked. And it's Houston on the break. Here's Howard. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Well, last season, Greg, another year without playoff basketball in Sacramento. A shame to see some of the best fans in the NBA not be a part of the postseason.
And it's a great point, Kevin. Now, 9 straight years where the Kings have failed to make the postseason. 29-win seasons aren't going to get you very far when you're battling in the West.
And, you know, you mentioned the 9 straight years without a playoff appearance for the Kings. Their last trip was in 2006. And since then, they've been rebuilding. That's the second longest playoff drought in the NBA.
And he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
Flying high and throwing down the hard one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
And really, he does that one as well as anyone. Kev, you're right. That's like his signature move once he goes airborne.
That is really poor defensive awareness. I mean, he's one guy you don't want to give any space to. You've got to stay attached and connect.
From deep, Harden misses that one. He's 0 for 1 from the floor.
Not a problem when that's your first miss of the game. Strong start.
And it's Rondo penetrating. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
Well, if the Kings do make it back to the playoffs, you know they'll be dangerous. Their fans have been through so much the last few seasons. They really deserve to see a team in postseason contention.
Michael Beasley, he's checked in for Houston. Collison kicks to Rondo. And they double up Rondo. And Cauley Stein throws it down.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
Here's Gay. Michael Beasley picking up that last basket. Here's Cousins. Good D by Ariza.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
It's Harden with the drive. Gay with the defensive effort. And there's a whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. That's foul number 2 for him. So for the Rockets, Jones checked in for Howard. Brewer comes in for Trevor Ariza. And it's KJ McDaniels in for James Harden. Rockets trail by 4. In the corner, it's Brewer. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. It's on DeMarcus Cousins. And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for Sacramento.
Guys, their penetration has been outstanding. I mean, it's actually been great. They're really finding those holes in the defense.
Yeah, also something I like out of them so far, they're throwing their bodies around in the paint, and the physicality is taking its toll.
Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that the pocket pass, and he did it well.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Rockets will retain possession.
And you know what? A low percentage pass on that one, but sometimes it's worth the risk.
Well, that time the risk did not pay off because it was well defended.
Sacramento making a switch here. DeMarcus Cousins, he's checked in for Koufos. Gay comes in for Caspi. Cauley Stein, he's checked in for Butler. Rajon Rondo subbed in for Bellinelli. Here's Gay. And the rebound goes to Jason Terry. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession.
You know, that's hard to explain that play. I mean, I guess he thought he had more room than he did.
2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. And the rejection by Cousins. There's the 3. And it's Rudy Gay with the 3. Gay's got 7.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
It's stolen by Rondo. And the jam by Rudy Gay.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it, too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
The scoring fast and furious as we end the first quarter. The Kings on top, leading by 9. Stay with us as we get set to bring you the second quarter right after this.
I realize this. I realize this.
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And looking at what we've seen from Sacramento so far, guys, what do you think?
Just the start they're looking for in this game. Solid offensively through the first.
Very crisp and sharp, not much stagnation at all on offense.
Harden and Ariza filling out the perimeter. Modiunas and Howard the post pair. And it's Terry in at the point guard. That's the 5 for Houston right now. It's Harden with the drive. And that one is stuffed right through.
Nothing fancy there. Didn't need it.
Nope. His only concern right now, Clark, is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points.
I like the simplicity.
Well, there's also style just with the fact that he's able to have that kind of a finish, though. Still, I like that pretty one-handed flush.
Timeout is called. First of the game for Sacramento.
You know what? I think he thinks he can make a few improvements to how things are going on right now.
Yeah, and you know, coaches always are looking for ways to tweak things and change it up a little bit, no matter what the situation is. That's what coaches do.
Sacramento making some changes. Kufis checked in for Caspi. Quincy Aces come in for Rudy Gay. Rajon Rondo subbed in for Darren Collison. Here's AC. No good on the quick 3.
And former coach of the year, George Karl, making his way back into the league last season. Kings picked him up halfway through the year to kind of stabilize their coaching situation.
Kings leading now by 5. Rondo drives in. Modiunas grabs the miss. To the paint. The 11-footer. Ariza no luck. And what a pickup to get a guy like Carl Gregg on their bench, as you mentioned. He's just been a winner, Clark, his entire career.
Well, he's climbing the ladder in the all-time wins category as a coach, and also he's a cancer survivor. He's overcome a battle with cancer, and that also lends itself to having great compassion and respect for George Karl.
As did his son Kobe.
That's right. That's right. Family affair.
Now a timeout called by Houston. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And, Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
Sacramento making a switch here. Cauley Stein's checked in. Kings leading now by 5. The drive by Rondo. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Well, looking back on last season, you could see the Rockets were tough at home. They just were relentless at going at teams.
Yeah, how about a 30-11 record last year? And a lot of close ones for them, but that home crowd at times could just really will them to victory.
As it did help in the series against the Clippers last year in the playoffs. Quincy Aces checked in for Cauley Stein. Rondo drives in. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Sacramento didn't have a free-flowing offense, and they wanted to get up and down. And it showed in their play transitioning from stagnant to free-flowing.
Sacramento, a team that is likely to put it on the floor to attack. We saw that last year They have no problem creating with player movement versus ball movement, which is something which is a nice way to kind of begin the transition.
It is, and Kevin, they were dead last in the league in terms of catch-and-shoot field goal attempts. Also near the bottom in catch-and-shoot field goal percentage, so they might have been justified in that.
There's a whistle. It's going to go on Corey Brewer. That's his first foul. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. And the dunk by AC.
And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
And there's a whistle. That goes on Quincy AC. That's his first foul. Michael Beasley. He's checked in for Maniunas. Stolen away to the inside. Here's AC. And there's a nice one-handed slam.
I tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here if he shattered the backboard.
And the shot is good. 6 points for Rajon Rondo.
Boy, they are passing the ball very crisply right now.
They really are, and their last 3 buckets have come by way of an assist. A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
Now here's Rondo. Can't get it to go. Rockets trail by 16. Ariza kicks to Beverly. Now here's Brewer. Bellinelli is covering. That's tipped. Looking to end the drought. Here's Beverly. Rebound by Butler.
Boy, they just cannot take the lid off.
Well, they need a basket in the worst possible way, and they've got to stop this run, and the only way you do that, you got to score yourself.
Just not happy with how his team is playing, and they just have been on the wrong side of this run.
Yeah, and you know what, Greg? Sometimes just a pause in the action, which is what a timeout can give you, is enough to change things around.
Timeout called the Rockets.
That was a good time to call the timeout to try to settle everybody down and get back into their offensive rhythm. They've been coughing up the rock an awful lot.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Terrence Jones is checked in for Howard. McDaniels comes in for Trevor Ariza. James Harden, he's checked in for Brewer. And it's Terry in for Patrick Beverly. 7-second difference, shot in game clock. And then Cousins with the dunk.
A rim rocker.
Looked for a second like he might rip the cylinder loose.
I tell you what, that is some grown man strength on that attack.
And there's a whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. That will get him his 4th foul of the game.
Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
No question about it. No flop there. That was a direct shot to the chest.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento. Curry kicks to Cousins. Outside Curry. It's Gay on the wing. Cousins. Nice pass, nice catch, and a resounding dunk.
And they're not taking their foot off the pedal. They just keep adding to their lead.
Well, it's never a good idea to back off.
And through one half, it hasn't even been close. Kings ahead as they end the second quarter with an energy burst, a 19-4 run. We're going to step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after our halftime. Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. It's been quite a game for Rudy Gay.
Yeah, you know, one of the things about the truly greats of our game is that sometimes you get spoiled because of how consistent they can be. And so far, another big scoring night for him.
And oftentimes when he puts up that many points in the first half, he follows it up with an even better second half. We'll see if that's the case here.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. It's been quite a game for Rudy Gay.
And his play in that first half, how about the discipline to go along with the efficiency, guys? His shot selection was just perfect.
I agree. I mean, whether it's been from mid-range or in tight, he is taking only what the defense has given him and not trying to do too much. Very much playing within himself.
On the court for Sacramento, we've got DeMarcus Cousins. Rajon Rondo is up there with Collison. Then there's Cauley Stein. And it's Gay in at the power forward. And the Rockets making a change here. Brewer's checked in. He kicks it to Howard. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. It's on DeMarcus Cousins. The Rockets shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
You know, I know that's an aspect they've been trying to address as a team. I mean, they've got to get those free throw numbers up and improve.
Dishes it to Rondo, and they double up Rondo. Here's Gay. No good. Good D by Howard. Rockets trailed by 18.
Boy, last year the Rockets dealt with a lot of injuries. I mean, the front court and post players were hit the hardest. I think almost every Rocket big would end up missing some time.
About 1 minute played here in the second half. Out to the right wing. Just 5 to shoot. They get a hand on it. And now it's Rondo running all the way. Here he goes. Lays it in off the breakaway. Rondo's got 10.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Yeah, high percentage shots are what they are getting in terms of the attempts, and that's just not going to get it done. They've got to figure it out.
The Rockets really having a tough go here. And last season, GA, as you were talking about, the injuries for the Rockets did pile up. Dwight Howard was out. Terrence Jones was out. They missed those guys for multiple games.
Yeah, and that hurt them inside. But also, remember, Beverly goes down right before the playoffs. So, in all, the Rockets had 180 missed games on their roster due to injury. Amazing they stayed so resilient and were able to capture that 2 seed.
Here's Brewer. No good on the 3. Kings leading now by 20. Here's Rondo. 10 points for him. It's rebounded by Houston. Ariza's got his 3rd rebound on the night. And taking care of the ball has been a problem for him.
Yeah, defensively, some really good pressure being applied, though, so you've got to give credit there. It seems like they've been rattled a little bit.
Greg, you think they've been rattled?
They have, Kevin, but that's something they've got to fix. While the defense has been good, a lot of these turnovers have been unforced. And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal, and then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
Rondo's shot is good.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
And, Greg, you know, the defense has been very slow to adapt. I mean, that's 10 straight points now inside.
No doubt about it. He has done a ton to help his team, but he's going to have to do even more if they want to have a chance to get back in this.
And there's the call on Patrick Beverly. That's his first foul.
Oh, man, it's close, but, didn't get on balance quick enough.
Yeah, and as quick as players are at this level, in this day and age, I mean, you've got to be perfect in your anticipation to draw the charge.
James Harden, he's checked in for Houston.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
Misses off the right iron.
Well, I think he kind of alligator armed that one, short stroked it. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot.
The drive by Rondo. Gets that one through the hole, make him now 7 of 13 in this game.
Just no resistance on the inside.
Wow, we're going to remember that one for a while.
I know I will, Kevin. That was special.
My goodness, that was almost a circus-like dunk.
And stolen by Cauley Stein. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. It's going to be on James Harden.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
Clearly a foul. I mean, didn't give him any choice but to blow the whistle. I mean, you got to play without fouling.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento.
I think he just sees some things that can be improved and wants to get everybody back on the same page.
And usually that, to me, is a good use of the timeout. I mean, if there's something that he's noticed that can give his team a lift, I think he's got to try to take advantage of that.
Houston with a big group substitution here. Terrence Jones is checked in for Howard. Beasley comes in for Corey Brewer. McDaniels, he's checked in for James Harden. And it's Terry in for Patrick Beverly. Now a timeout called by Sacramento. Now the Sacramento Kings weren't exactly road toughened last season, but they did have Clark some impressive stints.
Yeah, they were excellent in terms of scoring the ball. No problem at all putting up points. Their road defense was a different story.
And as you mentioned with the Kings, they did shoot well on the road, top 10 in the NBA in terms of road field goal percentage, and they actually shot threes better away from home as well. So the real question for them was on the defensive side of the ball.
For Houston, they've gone 3 of 6 in the third quarter, 50% from the field. Left side, Ariza. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that, Ariza's got 8 points.
The Kings were only 11-30 on the road last season, guys, and being a bottom 5 defense on the road in the NBA is part of the reason for that.
To the middle. Here's Jones. Off with the layup.
And trying to come up with the highlight reel finish, somebody forgot to finish it.
Excellent communication between teammates on the alley-oop there.
And that's what you need to pull that off.
And you do. You have to have both ends of that play, and they were fantastic on that one.
The Kings.
Timeout. Timeout. Start it.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento.
All right, Houston, coming on the court are your own Rockets power dancers. Give it up!
Started.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento.
All right, Houston, coming up the court on your own rocket power dancer, shoot out!
Knocked loose. And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. Kings ahead, running away with it. Don't go anywhere. The final quarter is coming up next on 2K Sports. And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. Terry and Harden are the 1 and 2. Trevor Ariza out there with Beasley. And it's Jones in at the 5 down low. That's the 5 for Houston right now.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Yeah, but that's no excuse for that kind of foul. I mean, that might be an explanation for it, but certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play.
Not surprised at all. He's shooting it well and scoring points in bunches.
Here's Harden. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. Cauley Stein's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Shoots from the baseline. And again, it's Rudy Gay. Gay's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
And here we go with Collison running it up the court. And the foul is called. He intentionally grabbed him there for some reason. I don't know.
Kevin, all I can think of is that he's trying to slow the game down a little bit.
Right.
That's a stretch, though. Definitely a strange move on his part.
Monty Eunice is checked in for Houston. Brewer comes in for Trevor Ariza.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.